Good. All right, so this is Hilchot Shebu'ot, Perek Aleph, Halacha Aleph. Arba'a Mine Shebu'ot En. There are four primary categories of Shebu'ot. Number one, Shebu'at HaBitul. Number two, Shebu'at Shab. Number three, Shebu'at HaPikadon. Number four, Shebu'at HaEdut. So we're going to be studying these halachot, as far as we know in the halachot, through the four different categories of Shebu'ot. That's the subject of these halachot. Let's start with Shebu'at Bitui. Shebu'at Bitui, hu shene'emar b'Torah, o nefesh ki teshava levote b'sfatayim lehara o lehetiv. So at the end of Parashat Vayikra, you have the the pasuk. If you have it in your book, give me the exact coordinates. Or let's at the end of the parashat, just to make it a little faster. At the end of Parashat Vayikra. Okay. Pasuk Dalet, right? Right. All right. So the pasuk, it says as follows. It's talking about various types of averot. It starts with this the first avera is a person who doesn't want to testify, even though he knows of something to testify that's relevant to a court case. And that's called, this person, he says that he has nothing to testify. Of course, he's lying. Then it says, and a person touches something impure and he enters the Beit HaMikdash, right? And then this is the third category, somebody pronounces with the Shebu'ah, with his lips, lehara or lehetiv, where he's going to do something good onto himself or something bad onto himself. So lehara, for example, you could say, tomorrow I'm going to fast. That's lehara. That's Shebu'ah. Bitul lehara. Or lehetiv, he's going to do something good. What's an example? Tomorrow I'm going to visit my parents. He makes a Shebu'ah. Tomorrow I'm going to visit my parents. That's the subject of this Shebu'at Bitui. Shebu'at Bitui is explaining this pasuk. Again, I'm going to read the pasuk again. O nefesh ki teshava levote v'sfatayim lehara o lehetiv. V'chol asher yivoteh ha'adam b'shbu'ah v'ne'olam mimenu v'hu yada ve'ashem le'achat me'ele. And then there's different types of korban asham that you bring for the different types of averot. That's why it's in Parashat Vayikra, because Parashat Vayikra is describing the different types of korbanot. So that's the source for Shebu'at Bitui. Okay? Shebu'at Bitui itself has four categories. And again, this is just the introduction. We're going to everything in great depth. Shetayim lehabba, u'shtayim l'she'abar. Two of the categories of Shebu'at Bitui have to do with Shebu'ot to the future. What you're going to do. For example, tomorrow I will do this, right? U'shtayim l'she'abar. Or you can make a Shebu'ah that I did this in the past. Kevon. She'nishba al davar, she'abar, she'ne'esa, or she'lo ne'esa. He says he makes a Shebu'ah that in the past, yesterday, I did that. Yesterday I visited my parents. Yesterday I didn't eat. ועל דבר שעתיד להיות, שיעשה ושלא יעשה. Or it could be, as I said, the future, I will do this tomorrow, I will not do the following tomorrow. So that's the first main category. Aiki, read the next halacha bet. And by the way, I know that we have different mas'alot here, just the number of books. Why don't you sit next to him? Yeah, Mark, you share with Natan, and Shlomo, you share with Aiki. I can read please, then Shebu'at Bitui.
then Shebu'at Bitui, דברים שאפשר לא לעשות, בין להבא, בין לשעבר.
Right, now, Shebu'at Bitui only applies to something that he can theoretically do. So if a person says, tomorrow I'm going to jump up and reach the moon, that's not a Shebu'ot Bitui. It could be a different type. It could be it's a Shebu'ot job maybe. But it's not Shebu'ot Bitui. Shebu'ot Bitui is when you make a Shebu'ah that tomorrow you're going to do something that is within the realm of possibility to do. Follow please along the book.
כסר לשעבר, שאכלתי, או שזרקתי לבניין.
Okay, you make a Shebu'ah that yesterday I ate this and this food. Or you make a Shebu'ah that yesterday I threw a stone into the ocean. That's a Shebu'ah l'she'abar.
או שבגלל פלוני, פלוני.
Or for example, you testify that I saw Reuven talking with Shimon. And we're going to see again, later, this is just again the introduction. We're going to see the relevance of these points.
או שלא אכלתי.
You said yesterday I was fasting. I didn't eat. Make a Shebu'ah. Again, all this is done as a Shebu'ah. Just to say it is not legally meaningful. It's legally meaningful if a person says it as a Shebu'ah.
או שלא זרקתי אבן לים.
Or he makes a Shebu'ah. Yesterday I didn't throw any stones into the water. It wasn't me. Maybe somebody got hit while he was swimming. And the guy says, he makes a Shebu'ah. Yes, I was in Manhattan Beach. I was jogging. I'm not the one who threw the stone in the water because I make a Shebu'ah. Says the person, I never threw any stones into the water yesterday, for example.
או שלא דבר פלוני, פלוני.
Right, I didn't see the Reuven speaking to Shimon, so it can't be that the Reuven went over to ask Shimon for a loan. That never happened. I saw the Reuven all day. I know for a fact that Reuven did not speak to Shimon, for example. Right?
וכסר להבא.
Okay, those are examples of the past. How do we have examples of the future?
שאוכל, או שזרוק לבניין.
Right, he makes a Shabbat tomorrow, I'm going to be eating this and this food. Okay? I may say, he promises his mom says, listen, why are you not having salad? It's good for you, right? I hate salad. No, please, I'm begging you, please have salad. Tomorrow, I promise he makes a Shabbat. He makes a Shabbat, he's going to eat it.
או שלא אוכל, או שלא זרוק לבניין.
Or tomorrow, I'm not going to eat it. That's it, I've had it with him. Enough. Stop bothering me about what I should eat. I don't want to I'm making a Shabbat, I'm not going to eat any food. Or I'm not going to eat this food. Right? Or I'm going to throw a rock into the ocean, or not throw a rock into the ocean, because throwing a rock into the ocean or not throwing a rock into the ocean is a meaningless, could be a meaningless act, right? So what's the point? So we'll see. So you see, so these are the four types of Shebu'ot Bitui. Four types of Shebu'ot Bitui. Will do, won't do, that's in the future. Didn't do, that's in the past. Four categories. Okay. Let's continue. Chavod Moshe. Yeah.
נשבע על אחת מארבע החלקות אלו והחליף, כיוון שנשבע שלא יאכל לאחד, או שאכלתי והוא לא אכל, הרי זו שבועת שקר, ועל זה בחסד בו נאמר, ולא תשבעו בשמי לשקר.
Okay, so now you know what a Shebu'ot Sheket is. So Shebu'ot Sheket is a person made a Shebu'ah of this nature. He said, for example, Shebu'ah tomorrow, he says, I'm going to have a ta'anit all day. And then he ends up eating. That's a Shebu'ot Sheket, right? Or he made a Shebu'ah, yesterday I didn't eat all day. He makes a Shebu'ah, I didn't eat all day, and it ends up he actually did eat. That's called Shebu'ot Sheket, and that's what the Pasuk says, V'lo tishave'u b'shmi l'shakeh. Where's that Pasuk, please? I mean, give me the exact coordinates. Vayikra. No, it's Vayikra. It's yeah. It's in your. Let me start that. So Yotet. Okay. So it says, the Pasuk says, Lo tignoru, no robbing, v'lo tichachashu, right? V'lo tishakeru ish ba'nito. And then it says, v'lo tishave'u b'shmi l'shakeh. So v'lo tishave'u b'shmi l'shakeh is referring, Shebu'ot Sheket is this type of Shebu'ah. You see, it's important. Many times things seem repetitive in the Chumash. They're not repetitive. What's the difference between Lo tishakeru, Lo tichachashu, Lo tishave'u b'shmi l'shakeh? So Lo tishave'u b'shmi l'shakeh is referring to the Shebu'ot Bitui in the end of Parashat Vayikra. Right? So if a person makes a Shebu'ah, and it ends up that he violated the Shebu'ah, either in the sense that it was false in terms of what he did in the past, or it was false in terms of what he's going to do to the future, in so much as he doesn't fulfill what he says he's going to do, that's called the Shebu'ot Sheket. V'lo tishave'u b'shmi l'shakeh. Continue.
ואם נשבע על שקר ומזיד לוקח, ושובר מביא קורבן עולה ויורד, שנאמר ונאמר ממנו והוא ידע להשם.
Okay, right, so if you make the Avera B'mezid, like many Averot in the Torah that a person does B'mezid, the punishment is Malkut, right? If you do it b'shogeg, the punishment is korban oleh v'yored, right? That was the subject of the end of Parashat Vayikra. There's different types of korban asham me'ilot, asham shivcha halakha, different types of, that's in Hiroshima. Now, but there's also korban oleh v'yored. So, you know, we say that if you do in Yom Kippurim, korban oleh v'yored, korban oleh v'yored. So there's a very specific number of hata'im, that it's a korban hatat, but usually there's what's called korban hatat kibu'ah. Hatat kibu'ah is if a person does an avera that he would be chayav aliyah karet if he did it b'mezid, but he does it b'shogeg, so he brings a hatat kibu'ah. That doesn't matter how wealthy the person is or how poor the person is, the korban hatat is what he brings. In the case of korban oleh v'yored, it's also korban hatat and it's for shogeg.
Is it Asham though?
No, korban oleh v'yored. He's, look at it again. Read it. Read halacha.
שואל בי קורבן עולה ויורד.
שנאמר, ונעלם ממנו והוא ידע להשם. Let me read you the pasuk it says, this is in Vayikra Perek pasuk Dalet, "Honefesh ki tishava levote b'sfatayim." That's Shebu'ot bituri, right? We were describing lehara or lehetiv. We're going to see that what lehara or lehetiv means more precisely. לכל אשר יבטא האדם בשבועה. פסוק, פרק פסוק ד', פרק פסוק ד'. see? הנפש, הנה אין ויקרא. הנפש, היא תשבע. No, you're not Hadamot. You have to go away. Yeah, right. And then it says, והוא ידע להשם, להשם, not קורבן עכשיו. והוא ידע להשם means he's guilty. לאחת מאלה. יהיה שם לאחת מאלה, יסמיק ביטוי. And then it says, והביא את אשמו לאדוני על חטאתו אשר חטא, נקבה מלשון כסבה, או שעירת עזים. And you see that? לחטאת.
כן, והביא את אשמו.
Right, he brings a korban for his guilt. It's not talking about the nature of the korban, it's talking about his guilt. והביא את אשמו. For pursuant to his guilt, he has to bring נקבה מלשון כסבה, או שעירת עזים לחטאת, as a korban hatat, because the laws of korban hatat are a little different than the laws of korban asham, right? This is the hatat, but then it says, if he doesn't have money for a set, which is either a sheep, a female sheep, or a female goat, then he brings shetetorim. If he doesn't have money for shetetorim, then he can bring a mincha, right? Solet isaron. Right, so that's korban oleh v'yored. So it's an unusual, and there's a few averot. Also, we said if a person mistakenly enters Beit HaMikdash b'tum'ah, that would also be korban oleh v'yored, right? All right. Did you finish the halacha? Yes. Next one. Please, why don't you read Isaac, Yitzchak, halacha, Rali. So that's Shebu'ot bituri. Okay, Shebu'ot bituri, you understand now? We have a general picture. We're looking at right now what we're doing is we're looking at the contours. And we're going to go to more specific details later. The way Halacha presents halachot is in terms of structure. So he starts with the more general structures, and then he goes into the substructures, and then he goes into the substructures. So right now we just did the primary structure of Shebu'ot bituri. Now we're going to do the same thing with Shebu'ot shav.
Shebu'ot shav נחלקת לארבע מחלקות. האחת שנשבע על דבר הידוע שאינו כן.
Okay, so that's Shebu'ot shav. So Shebu'ot shav also has four categories. Number one, you make a Shebu'ah about something that you know for a fact is false, right? So you know for a fact that, if for example you say yesterday was a snowy day in Brooklyn, and you know that was a false, that's Shebu'ot shav. Okay.
כיצד? כגון שנשבע על האיש שהוא אישה ועל האישה שהוא איש.
Right, so if a person makes a Shebu'ah, this man is really a woman, this woman is really a man, then he would that would be considered a Shebu'ot shav. Some of the woke people in America don't teach this in public, but nevertheless, this was written thousands of years ago, so we can forgive Rambam for not knowing that, men and women would say. So go on.
ועל עמוד של השיש שהוא של זהב, וכן כל כיוצא בזה.
Right, and if there's a pillar of marble, he says that pillar of marble is a pillar of gold. So any thing like that. Of course, this would be common if a person was in court and he was testifying under oath and making certain statements which are knowingly false. Right. Next halacha, chavod, Mark. Actually, let's give Eddie a chance. We missed him. So halacha.
الشنيان شنشبع على دبر يدوع شئين بو سفك لألم شوكين.
Now, the second category of Shebu'ot Shav is when a person makes a Shebu'ah that everybody knows it's so. For example, a person makes a Shebu'ah, he says that this is a phone. Yeah, it's a phone. Or this is water. There was water in this cup. That's also called the Shebu'ot Shav. Continue.
كهون شنشبع على الشمايم شو شمايم.
He says the sky is the sky. He says, I swear, he says that the sky is the sky.
بعلها ابن زو شهي ابن.
Right, or he points to a stone, he says, I'm making a Shabbat, this is a stone. Oh, right, okay.
على الشنايم شهم شنايم. بخين كل يصيب زي.
Right, so interesting, what is Shebu'ot Shav? So Shebu'ot Bitul, you're pronouncing something about what you did, right? Or what you experienced, either in the past. You say, I heard that when speaking to Shema. It's not what you did, it's an experience you had. I fasted yesterday. I threw the stone into the water. So it has to do with either your actions or, in the case of the past, your experience. In the future, it will be tomorrow I will do this and this. So your action, that's Shebu'ot Bitui. Shebu'ot Shav seems to have to do more with empirical reality. So if you make a Shebu'ah which either negates some sort of empirical reality or substantiates an obvious empirical reality, that's a Shebu'ot Shav. What makes it Shav? Shav means meaningless. It has no value. So you just mentioned the name of God. You made a Shebu'ah, and there's no reason for that Shebu'ah, right? And so that's Shav, right? All right. Continue. Finish halacha.
שזה הדבר אין בו ספק לאלם שלם כדי לصדק הדבר בשבועה.
Why would you make a Shebu'ah about that? And we don't need a Shebu'ah, to substantiate that a stone is a stone, that the sky is a sky, that a man is a man. That all that is just a meaningless use of the Shebu'ah. And the Shebu'ah is something sacred. Why are you using something sacred? So substantiate something obvious. So that's two categories of Shebu'ot Shav. Mark, read the next halacha.
שלישית שנשבע לבטל את המשרה. כיצד?
This is a different type of Shebu'ot Shav, where you want to annul a mitzvah.
כיצד? כגון שנשבע שלא יתעטף בסיסית.
Person made a Shebu'ah that he's not going to be, that's it, he's not going to be mit'atef b'sisit anymore. That's mevatel, the mitzvah aseh de'oraita, mit'atef b'sisit, and he's mevatel the mitzvah.
ושלא ילבש תפילין.
Another mitzvah aseh de'oraita, שלא ילבש תפילין.
ושלא ישב בסוכה בחג הסוכות.
He's had it, he can't stand, he goes into the sukkah on Sukkot, he gets attacked by bees, he's had it, he makes it, that's it, I'm never again, he makes a Shebu'ah, never again sitting in a sukkah, or this year on Sukkot, I'm not going to sit in a sukkah.
ולא יאכל מסע בדרך פסח, או שיתעטף.
Interesting, או שיתענה. What is it? Read that.
או שיתענה בשבתות וימים טובים, וכן כולל צבע.
Okay, that last one is interesting. Why is that interesting? The last one is he says, I make a Shabbat, I'm going to fast on Shabbat. Of course, Shabbat is the day where we eat. The karata la Shabbat oneh. He says, no, I'm going to fast on Shabbat. I've had it, I gained so much weight, every time there's a double day, I'm going to fast. So that's a Shebu'ot Shav. But what's interesting about that last one? It's Derabbanan. Interesting. Why would it be that if a person makes a Shebu'ah, I can understand if you make a Shebu'ah, levatel, misvat aseh de'oraita, that's Shebu'ot Shav. Okay. But why Derabbanan? Why mitzvah Derabbanan? You understand the question? Interesting. Okay. But I'm just putting it out there. Later on, we're going to go a little more deeply into the laws. I just wanted to start just to be cognizant that there's a difficulty. But do you say anything? He probably does.
Okay.
Yeah.
ויבטל מסרה שתגנו חכמים, להנהג את שירותו למתונים כאחד.
But he doesn't explain. Okay, very good. But he intelligently says that it's mitzvah Derabbanan. Yeah.
It's also interesting, he brings examples of this, what I say. He
Yeah.
doesn't bring any of this, what I say. He just doesn't bring it. How about that?
Well, let's think about that. Let's say, let's think, I agree with you. Let's just think about that. So he makes a mitzvah, he has a mitzvah to eat Masan Pesach, and he makes a Shabbat not to eat Masan Pesach. Okay, that's understood. Now let's say there's a mitzvah, chas v'shalom, to eat pork meat, not to eat pork meat. He says he makes a Shabbat, I'm going to eat pork meat. Is that a Shebu'ot Sham? Is that a Shebu'ot Sham? He's not nishba to be mevatel the mitzvah. He's nishba, I'm going to eat pork meat. You understand the question? So let's see, we're going to see later. It's a very good question.
Makbili includes that he writes mitzvah, mitzvot aseh, mitzvot lo ta'aseh,
Yeah.
mitzvot b'takanat hachamim, p'nei mitzvot b'torah shmo divrei hachamim, and he includes mamrim. He brings mamrim, aleph bet.
Exactly. That's all, 100%. I agree with everything he wrote. And we're going to see all that. As I said, we're going to flesh out all these topics. That's what's beautiful about studying Rambam, that he really, he builds things. But even though he's building things, it's still good to like be aware of certain issues. So we're going to get into that a little more deeply. Okay. Next halacha. Who's Natan? Halacha Zayin?
Yeah. כל נשבע שבועת שם.
Right? Or is it the V'yit?
Maybe Zayin.
Because we did the 3 out of the 4 categories of Shebu'ot Sham. The first one was that you're nishba on something that's empirically obvious, and you say it is so. The second thing is you're nishba on something that's empirically obvious, and you say it is not so. The third one is levaten mitzvah, and then the fourth one.
Wasn't the first about an action that you would do?
What?
Wasn't the first about an action that oh, that's right. Okay.
Right? Because before you came in, or maybe before you came in, we were doing Shebu'ot Bitui. Shebu'ot Bitui has to do with actions that you're doing, right? Or an experience that you had. So that's Shebu'ot Bitui. Here, you're talking about some sort of reality, or empirical facts, right? Or Levatelet HaMitzvah also is a Shebu'ot Sham. And we'll see why. Okay, continue, Levi.
שנשבע על דבר שאין לו כוח לעשותו, כשר.
If a person makes a Shabbat, there's no way he can, on something that is impossible to do, Kesser, for example.
כגון שנשבע שלא יישן 3 ימים, לילה ויום וסופים.
He makes a Shebu'ah, he's going to be awake for 3 days and 3 nights, which is impossible. It's not something you can control, so that would be a Shebu'at Sham.
או שלא יטעום כלום 7 ימים רצופים.
Or you can say, I'm going to make a ta'anit for 7 days, nothing, no water, no food, nothing. I'm going to make a 7-day ta'anit.
וכן יכול לצאת אז...
Anything of that nature. Right, so interesting, this isn't a Shebu'ot Bitur. We said Shebu'ot Bitur has to do with actions that you're going to do, but it has to be actions that you can do. So if you make a Shebu'ah on an action that you cannot do, that becomes a Shebu'at Sham. So you see there's a certain, not overlap, but the tangential rules, right? So Shebu'ot Bitui, I say tomorrow I will fast 1 day. That's a Shebu'ot Bitui. Shebu'at Sham, tomorrow I will start a 7-day fast. That will be Shebu'at Sham, right? Continue.
Should I continue or someone else?
Did you finish halacha?
Yeah.
כל הנשבע שבועת שווא, מארבע שבועות אלו, עובר בלא תעשה, שנאמר, לא תשא את שם אדוני אלוהיך לשווא. If a person pronounces any of these 4 Shebu'ot, that's the famous one of the 10 Commandments. The 10 Commandments is not a Shebu'at Bitui. The 10 Commandments is lo tisai et shem Adonai elecha l'shav. It's talking about shav, Shebu'at shav. You see that? So we'll start the one and repeat it in a moment. Right? כל הנשבע, yes, כל הנשבע שבועת שווא מארבע שבועות אלו, עובד בלא תעשה, שנאמר לא תישא את שם אדוני אלוהיך לשווא. אם היה מזיד, לוקה, אם היה שוגג, פטור מכלום. Interesting. If a person makes a שבועת ביטוי בשוגג, התקבענו לב יולד. If a person makes a שבועת שווא בשוגג, פטור מכלום. There's nothing. Interesting halacha. Right? So those are 2 different types of Shebu'ot. We have the Shebu'at HaPikadon, and then we have the Shebu'at HaIdut. Next week, we'll do that. So now we're going to start Harambam. The Morei Ruchim, take a 2-minute break. Just, talk about yourself, and then we'll start Harambam.
Rabbi, any reason why you chose Shebu'ot?
Yes, it was. Hold on one moment. I can go in back of the camera and